Welcome back to the Sipping Sooner. Thank you for joining me again today. Well, uh, you already know what we finna talk about, so let's get it. First of all, before I even get started, I want to thank all of the subscribers for subscribing to the channel. I done hit 300. I know a lot of people might think that ain't, a big deal, but it's a big deal to me. I appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you again. All right, now let's get into this shit, man. All right. All hope is not lost, man. We wanted Williams. Um, I don't know. Without us knowing everything, and not being on the inside, it's hard to just come up here and make accusations and whatnot sometimes. So anyway, I don't know, man. And a lot of people making a big deal about the simple fact that he said that basically we finished third as far as he's concerned. I don't know, man. I was listening to the guys over there on Two Plane Sports. I got a theory. Missouri won out. I think maybe Missouri's where Mom wanted him to go, and I think Georgia might be where his dad wanted him to go. But I mean, you can't convince me that he himself doesn't want to be at OU. So at the end of the day, we'll see, man. Maybe we get a little Peyton Bowen action, where they finally decide, hey, look, let's let our kid, go where he wants to go. And I just find it hard to believe, man. I really do. You don't come to Oklahoma that many times and say all the glowing things that he said about the coaching staff and everything else, the whole program as a whole, and then turn around and put us third. Anyway, well, today we're going to move forward. And as we move forward, we need to start focusing on David Stone, Okoye, McKinley, Nigel Smith. And let's start with David Stone. We have to get David Stone. We have to get him. Now, the problem with that is that I really believe that Brent Venables, I just can't see him, going into the NIL too heavy. I mean, I just don't think he wants to put his locker room in jeopardy like that. I just really don't. I mean, you bring in a guy that's making, a significant more amount of money than everybody else, it could fracture the foundation that he's been putting together, But, some teams, they not worried about that because they can care less. Some of the players that they have, they not worried about if they leave or transfer out or whatever the deal is. But we trying to build here. So I don't know how this is going to play out. I mean, I'm sure they're going to put something competitive together, and I'm sure it's going to come down to the other factors, Factors like, relationships, being close to home. We know his sisters at OU, stuff like that, man, So at the end of the day, who the hell is going to come here because they want to be here and want to get developed? Who is that? Who is that going to be? Is that Nigel Smith? You know, maybe Nigel Smith, Okoye, you know. And speaking of Okoye, does I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just tripping, but we know Okoye is pretty raw, and we really don't know what his ceiling is. We got an idea of what Williams could will be or could have been. I mean, Okoye is pretty damn explosive his damn self and a hell of an athlete. So, I mean, he could lessen that blow, you know, from Williams if he commits to us. So, you know, hopefully they can reel him on in as well. And I mean, I'm just assuming that Nigel's gonna come. You know, I ain't seen that guy waver too much over the months. So I'm hoping that he comes. And McKinley, man, that's gonna be a hard one to get. You know, maybe it's gonna be easier than I think, but I don't know, man. I think somehow, some way, LSU is gonna pop back up in the picture before it's time for him to commit. You know, I just can't see them sitting on the sideline. And then even if they do, we still got to deal with Texas. And we know Texas, they've had foundational problems for well over a decade. So we know that they don't care about looking at the big picture. But yeah, I think if we can get David Stone, man, I think we'll see a few more pieces fall in place. Whew, if we don't get David, man, I think it's going to be time for us to start, some of us, to start assessing whether or not we need to be following recruiting this closely. You know, when I I got into this based off the fact that, you know, I would always be around my friends and family, and I'd be talking football, and I'd start talking about, you know, stuff a little bit deeper than just surface level, and it was kind of like I would lose people. So I was like, man, and everybody around me said, hey man, why don't you just start a YouTube channel, man, because, you know, you got all this knowledge. And I'm like, well, I don't have any inside knowledge of stuff like that. I just love football. I'm a football junkie. I mean, matter of fact, if you watching this right now, you probably a football junkie as well. So, you know, we try to take in all the content we can, you know, every chance we get. But I mean, I just started this shit, man. It's going to be like grand opening, grand fucking closing. If he don't bring his ass here to OU, man. Ooh, it's going to be bad, man. It's going to be bad. But if you get David, you get Nigel, you get McKinley. That's 3 interior defensive linemen, with Nigel, I think, probably having the ability to split out to the end and play inside. So he also could help lessen some of that blow from Williams Nwaneri. No commitment. But I mean, I think if we get those guys, man, I'll be just as happy as I would if we got, you know, Williams on board, because, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, I just don't know what it's going to take. I mean, and I know a lot of us, man, we new to this high stake recruiting. And so you got to have some thick skin, man, fucking around up here, man, with the big boys, because like they say, everybody need them. So everybody's going to go after them. Just when you think you got it in the bag, somebody comes along and tries to snatch his ass away, man. So, like I said, it's going to come down to a combination of things. A competitive package, along with the damn relationships, and the kid and the family has to want to be here. If they don't want to be here, they looking around, then you're going to start running into teams, Missouri, A&M, Miami, Michigan State, Oregon, Texas. Any of those teams that's willing to pay whatever it takes, we going to have a problem with them. So I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know. Do we start going after just 4 stars and trying to get them in the boat early. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we gonna do. But I mean, it's a fine line there. Brent and them gotta walk, man, because they trying to keep the integrity of the locker room, but at the same time, it's almost damn near impossible to get one of these kids, man, one of these big time 5 stars, especially in the trenches, without opening up the checkbook too damn wide. You know, I mean, PJ, that was a rarity right there. You know, PJ, man. It seemed like we didn't have too many problems at all with PJ. You just looked up and he was in the class. But all the recruitments can't work out like that. So, but y'all, you know, and anybody out there giving Parker Thune hell and all these other people, man, they can only, you know, do the best they can do, man. At the end of the day, you know, if the kid is telling them one thing, but then the family chooses to do another thing, I mean, shit, it's out their hands at that point. So you cut them guys some slack, man. You know, we still depend on them for a lot of inside information. But, you know, other than that, man, shit, I thought I'd get on here and check in with Sooner Nation, man, and I guess the majority of people are handling it pretty well. But, you know, it's a few of you out there struggling. You know, hell, shit, I was even devastated. But I can't be devastated and then come on here and tell you not to be. So, you know, I'm strong. And now I'm finna get the fuck on out of here and go over there and cry. But anyway, y'all hang in there, Sooner Nation. You already know. I'm out this bitch. Peace.